Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and this is the album review of Octane. Now, this being his most recent release, released on January the 30th. Actually, I don't even have the dates written down, so I don't know. I'm trying to give information and stuff I haven't even made notes of. But in terms of concept and intention, names like Octane and the snapshots of having the cars within the music videos, I guess that's kind of like a relative. I don't know. We have to create a high energy immersive experience that functions as, well, again, a snapshot of his life. Combining his love for car culture, rally racing, I didn't even know that's something he enjoyed, and personal evolution following the birth of his son. There's elements of fuel consumption, octane, luxury, world building, honestly, which I must say I actually did kind of enjoy. I thought it had more of like a Halloween feel, considering the the promo vid and the music video as well, with the chemical wheel sign thing. I guess it kind of is, but I really do enjoy when artists tend to try to pursue a world building aspect, even if it's something minuscule, a little bit subtle. I really do think it adds this level of depth, and there's just so much cool things you can do with an album. With sound and production, we have a melodic, psychedelic trap, R&B, which I must say contains quite a few dark synths, ambient textures, very heavy vocal effects. I must say, it's like obviously a lot of I wouldn't say his main genre is trap, but they do tend to go with a artist such like him within his space tend to go with a very auto-tune filled vocal sound. Brassy instruments, bouncy drums for speed, and lots of typical electro trap for what's been the core sound behind most of his songs, just remastered through different themes. And that seems to be what Anthony Fantano's issue with this is as well. Not necessarily the sound and production, but more or less with the elements. It's been very, similar. He didn't get anything new. Anthony Fantano gave this project a 3 now. You'll see my rating in a little bit. But I can kind of somewhat agree with that perspective as well. I think what a lot of music critics tend to focus on is the evolution of an artist. No one wants to have the same project with a different filter multiple times. And I definitely get that. And I suppose this being my first Don Toliver album, I didn't feel anything repetitive. This was all new, very enjoyable for me. But I can definitely see how that would be an issue. How you could say an issue, a critique, perhaps. But for me, I really did enjoy this. And I also saw Shaq. I think his name's Shaq, right? No Life Shaq or something like that. He had this statement about how Don Toliver's mastered the form of making a song, and I agree. Like, songs like these aren't necessarily the most in depth. They aren't very, conceptual, but they are enjoyable. I think also so. What the Buzz say that this is kind of more like a TikTok pursuing sound thingy, and he's not necessarily wrong either. I mean, heck, like songs like Body, and ATM, they both have very clippable TikTok short form content compatibility, which I usually don't like. I really, really don't like when I generally don't usually like music that's made just to be popular for commercial use, but this is one of those few times where I really did. I will say I'm cutting a bit far into the future sections here, but we'll just move on and I'll talk about it in a sec. With aesthetic and theme, we have a spacious dark horror themed fantasy world, themes of some Frankenstein mechanical, that mechanical woman thing, whatever that was supposed to be, I really didn't know. Yeah, crazy scientists, chemical stations, cars. It's not necessarily a very concrete concept, because I don't know how any of those correlate whatsoever, but that's kind of just what we have going for us. Dark, black, and yet it somehow felt a bit polished, a bit raspy with the grain and the texture-like effects throughout the music videos, but yeah. Favorite songs, are we ready? Okay. At number 3, I have, okay, and yes, I'm looking over it because sometimes I forget. Yes, all right. I have Secondhand. I don't know if this is how you pronounce their name, but Rema. Their cadence, and the song's simplistic but effective, like rise and falls, just really created this space for a very simplistic but enjoyable song. I don't necessarily have too much notes about why I like the song. It just sounds really nice. I really think the cadence, the vocal inflections, the ups and downs, the basic structure of like a very yeah, just like the basic structure of a song. Again, I don't usually go for songs like these, but They did a pretty decent job. Number 2, I have ATM. I absolutely love the mixing and cuts within this song. I think it creates this very uneasy and yet very like pop your head to kind of feel, not going to lie. Especially I wanted to highlight that part on the song, but I didn't even have it noted down here. But I think this was supposed to be the lead single for the thing, for the album. I don't think it does a very good job of being a lead single, but I still enjoyed the song. So it's still up there for me. In number 1, we have, and I'm gonna sound like every typical 13-year-old, we have Body. Okay? I'm sorry to disappoint you. Is he gonna like Gemstone? Is he gonna like TMU? Maybe Tiramisu? Like, no. Okay? If you listen to the song, you'll get it. If you heard that song, very, okay, yeah, also have as, and also have as, and but we all should know that I'm a violent, menacing rage enthusiast who can't help crave anything that has this adrenaline rushing. Okay, I'm sorry, adrenaline junkie as they call them, which is exactly what this song did. Okay, it made me feel things I was about to punch and run through a wall like the Kool-Aid man. Okay, I don't know more further. Next section. In terms of how it's aged publicly, marks as Don Tolivers' first #1 album on the Billboard 200. Most reviewers mark it as alive, phenomenal, innovative, and intimate. I don't necessarily agree with innovative and intimate. But successful signature style, yet experimentation, that I somewhat agree with. Many consider it to be his best work so far. I wouldn't be too sure, considering the fact that I haven't really listened to too much of his previous works. And around 162,000 units sold in his first week in the USA alone. That's pretty impressive. Now, personally, how this has aged for me as a project, and I can do this without any notes, but I think I have something written down as well. Yeah, okay, I do mention what the buzz said. What's the buzz said? Commercially made TikTok music. Anthony Fantano wasn't a great fan of this project either. Usually I do tend to find myself siding and agreeing with a more critical angle, such as Anthony Fantano, or the needle drop, whatever you want to call it. But I genuinely did enjoy this project. Not a lot of the songs made it onto my playlist or within my circulation, not going to lie, but considering how much of a sucker I am for more conceptualized work, things with very deep lyrics, this was again one of the very few times where, and I'm sorry for this lighting, something that is more simple, more commercially made, but just sounds really good, really did do a very good job of that. I was there the moment it released. 30 minutes after I was listening and recording. Was super, just a really good time. And I think different albums create different experiences, and this one for me is viewed as one of my most positive. And again, like, it's hard to argue when you just had a good time. So that's why my overall score is a mid 6 out of 10. I know. You're like, bro, you were just talking about how much you enjoyed it by giving a mid 6 out of 10. Critically, again, it's not too great. That's, I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself. Okay, there's a difference between enjoyability and the overall score of a project. I don't just base it completely over enjoyability. I try to critique the project to take it apart. Yeah, I also have written it wasn't conceptually consistent enough for me either. I also use, and I do my best to use Anthony Fantano's format of a ranking. So 6 in no way is bad. It's just not amazing. And yeah, I just feel like the beginning of the album was very strong and it kind of fell off a little bit. It just wasn't that too great towards the end. But overall, some good songs. Apparently, Rosary was quite a fan favorite amongst quite a few people as well. I didn't really enjoy that song. But I'd say a mid 6 out of 10 again. Not terrible. It's just not amazing. It's a good score, okay? But yeah, if you guys have anything you guys want to let me know down in the comment section, please let me know. That I not cover something, that I not expand upon any points enough. Please, guys, let's talk about this project. How much you guys enjoyed it. What's your ratings? I want to see how you guys rate projects too, so let me know. without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get to work. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.